Let me tell you a little bit about Granny Cares. Granny Cares is a radio talk show, and Granny Cares only wants to bring out the best in you, because Granny knows that you can be so much greater than who you are now. Granny cares for everyone, but especially the less fortunate, bringing you love, encouragement, wisdom, and hope. So don't think nobody cares, because everybody needs somebody, and anybody won't do. So listen to Granny, because she cares about you. I chose my beautiful butterflies because I like to think that we are all uniquely made, and God, no matter what state you're in or what you're doing with your lives right about now, it doesn't matter in God's eyesight. We still are beautiful creation. Matter of fact, God said that we were His greatest creation, so that's why I chose my beautiful butterflies. Butterflies are so colorful, they're so beautiful, they're bright, they're radiant. Before everyone leave here today, I want you to feel like that. I want you to feel like you can be able to just pick up your wings and just fly. Some of our wings might have been clipped. Some of us never grew wings. Some of us are still just crawling because we don't know that we can fly. So I want everybody to know before they leave here that you can fly and that you do have wings. And even if you have been wounded or if they have been clipped, we're going to heal them today. How many of you want happiness, or peace of mind, happiness, to be carefree, okay, so all of us agree that that's what we want: financial blessings, just carefree, just happiness, and all of that stuff. The Bible says, and even your prayer, it says, when you pray every day, it says, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we are supposed to make this place your heaven. Okay, so we shouldn't be sitting around waiting around to die to make this place our heaven. You can create your life whatever way you want it to be, but I didn't say it's going to be easy, but it can be done. If you're willing to put in the footwork, there is nothing that you cannot have. We have people that are just walking around that's kind of like in an existing stage. You could either be in a living stage or you could be in an existing stage. And let me give you an example of the two. When you are living, you're full of energy, you're happy, you have goals, you're making things happen, okay? And people can feel your energy. When they get closer, they can feel your energy. But when you're just existing, you're kind of like a zombie. You're doing the same old routine over and over again. You're almost pretty much like a dead man walking. If you don't have dreams and goals, then you are like a dead man walking. You have to have your purpose in life. God gave all of us a purpose. Now, just because I said existing, I'm not saying, even if you're retired and you're just sitting at home, you can still be in a living stage, because you can still give life. Every time if someone calls you with a problem or something, you can, give them encouraging words or whatever. That's still, living, giving life. So you have to give and live life. In order to get out of that existing stage, I should say, that you have to set goals. Goals can be whatever it is you want it to be, whether it's volunteering at a hospital, whether it's you just decided to, get up and just improve yourself one way or another, going back to school or whatever. So you have to set goals, because if you don't set goals, then you're gonna be in this little zombie stage day after day. Now, how many people here believe that change is good? Okay, you're gonna have to change. Doing the same old thing over and over again, expecting different results by doing the same thing, is called insanity. You're insane. So if you want to see a change, you're gonna have to get up and do something about it. You basically have to make that change. You got to get up and do something about that change. So it's not good enough to sit around and talk about people and they do, this person's not doing anything, this person's not doing that. You have to get up and show them. You have to lead by examples. People do want to change, and that's the real, if I can get nothing else through you guys, I would love just for you to know that people want to change. They don't know how to change, even something as simple as that. You're gonna have to take them by the hand, pull them wherever you want them to go, because they just afraid. It's the fear that's stopping them. So let's try to be that change that we really want to see. How many of us know who God is? How many of us know God? Let's see, how many of y'all know God? Okay. we know God. I'm gonna tell you like my granny told me one time, and I visited her before she died, my great-granny, the other granny. She said, do you know God? And she asked the question about 3 times. Do you know God? And the kids was like, I think I know him. You know? No, do you know God? I mean, do you know him? Not know of God. You have to know God. When I say know God, you should not get off your knees unless you got an answer. When you pray about a situation, you should hear God's voice.
Yes, yes.
He should tell you what to do, how to, which direction to go, which way you should travel. You should hear his voice. So I want you guys to get to the point, I want you to be able to hear God's voice. I know we all know God. First of all, when you look in the mirror, if you have a hard time finding God, just look in the mirror because you are God. Number one, you are the creator. I believe that, and I told you that all the time. But now I want you to know, I want you to be able to talk to that spirit that's in you. Some of y'all call it the Holy Spirit, some call it the creator, whatever you call it, put it to work for you. That's what I tell you on one of my CDs. Whatever you call that thing that's in you, you put it to work for you. Two spirits, you have 2 different spirits going on in your body. Got kind of like a little spiritual warfare going on. Because you have that one that's telling you positive stuff, and then you have that one that's telling you the negative stuff. You want to start trying to lean more towards that positive spirit in you because that's God trying to talk to you. Okay? Satan ain't going to tell you nothing good. So that's one way to identify when you get those thoughts, and some say, you should turn down the street. Man, I knew I should have turned down the street. That first thought is usually your right. There's usually that right thought. That's usually that God spirit that's within you. So you need to, in order to find God though, you're going to have to spend a lot of time with yourself. You're going to have to learn to meditate. Go into a dark room, a closet, whatever you have to do. You have to learn to just spend some time with yourself and really listen and channel into those thoughts because God really wants to help you and he really is trying to, he really wants you to hear him because, you're going to have to know him for yourself. This world is getting so crooked and it's so corrupt that if you don't know him for yourself, you're going to fall with the rest of them.
That's right.
After I had lost my mom, I hit rock bottom, okay? I didn't have anything. I hit rock bottom. I had never been in a recession before. I'm just in my 40s. None of you guys have been in a recession before because the Great Depression, I think, was 1939 or something like that. So if you guys were born in the 60s, you don't know nothing about it either. So anyways, so I've never been in a recession before, and I've been always doing that hair since I was about 13 years old. So I really never wanted for nothing. I always knew how to get money and I always had money and just stuff. So, but after my mom passed, we went into this recession. I got back to work. It's like, I didn't know if all my clients just turned it back on me or what, but it was just slow, it was just a drought, there was nothing going on. And I remember praying, I said, okay, God, I said, what's going on? I'm not used to this. I'm not used to no depression or whatever they call this stuff. So you're gonna have to help me here, God. I don't know what to do. I'm to the point, I never had to ask anybody for anything. So now I need money to help pay my mortgage. I don't know what to do here, God. I need your help. And as I was praying, my spirit said, I'm down there now, because you guys, when you pray, I want you to really, really tune in because God wants to answer you. He wants to answer you, but you have to find that place. So I said, okay, God, I don't know what to do here. My spirit says, I want you to save every $100 bill you get. What you say, $100 bill? I said, okay, God, I hear you loud and clear, it's fine. This here book here, this is how I use this book. Hello, how you doing? So this is how I use the book. Whenever I pray, I usually have this book in my hand, right? And after I get done praying, I open it up to any page. I let it fall where it may, okay? That particular day, after praying about a recession and not having any money, I opened the book up and it fell right on the page where there was a young man who had a business back during the Great Depression. Normally he would make $2 million a year in this business. This particular year, this guy made $8 million. All because he was obedient and he did what God, he was obedient to what God asked him to do. So he made $8 billion a year. So I said, okay, so I look at that as a sign. Okay, God, you trying to tell me something. So I hear you loud and clear, I get it. I go to work the next day. Now, mind you, it was a drought. I was not making anything, but I go to work the next day, and I had so many clients, and everybody that came in there had $100 bills. Everybody for the next 3 months.